Spotted. Wang Yibo's new ring. A gift from Xiao Zhan. The entertainment world woke up to a storm this morning. Wang Yibo, the enigmatic star whose every move sparks conversations, stepped into the public eye wearing something so small, yet so powerful, it sent fans into an emotional frenzy. A silver band glistened on his finger, not just as jewelry, but as a possible confession, a whisper of intimacy, and a symbol that may forever change the way the world sees him. Whispers began immediately. Was it just an accessory, or a token from someone whose name still lingers in every headline? The name on everyone's lips was, of course, Xiao Zhan. And so, the saga deepens. The moment that shook everyone. It was supposed to be an ordinary event, a quiet meet and greet with fans at a cultural showcase in Shanghai. Cameras flashed, reporters leaned forward, and Yibo stood in his usual calm, collected posture. But it wasn't his outfit, his smile, or his carefully styled hair that caught the world's attention. It was the ring. A silver band, simple but elegant, gleamed under the lights. Yibo raised his hand once, twice, as though unconsciously drawing attention to it. He laughed with fans, shook hands, and every single gesture only made the ring sparkle more. The gasps began quietly in the crowd before spreading like wildfire across social media. Wait, is that new? Why does it look like a couple's band? Don't tell me. Xiao Zhan. And just like that, the calm showcase transformed into the epicenter of a storm. Fans recall the past, the history no one can ignore. For years, the world has danced around the connection between Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. Friends? Lovers? More than just co-stars? Their silence fueled speculation, their smiles fueled hope, and their rumored arguments fueled heartbreak. But here's what no one could deny. Every time the two were seen together, something about the air felt different. Now, with this ring, memories rushed back. Memories of that night in Beijing when Yibo and Xiao Zhan were spotted leaving a cafe together, walking side by side with matching scarves. Memories of Yibo tearing up in a live stream, whispering words fans swore were directed at Xiao Zhan. And memories of Xiao Zhan himself, once photographed looking down at his own hand as though a ring was missing from his finger. Could this be it? Could the ring on Yibo's hand be the missing piece of a puzzle fans have been trying to complete for years? The scene that broke the internet. When the photos hit the internet, chaos followed. The hashtags trended instantly. Hashtag Yiboring Mystery. Hashtag Gift from Xiao Zhan. Hashtag Love in Silver. One fan described it perfectly in a comment that garnered thousands of likes. This isn't just a ring. This is a declaration. Silent but louder than words. Subtle but impossible to ignore. He's wearing his heart on his hand. The crowd outside the event only grew bigger as fans gathered, holding banners and shouting support. Some cried, some laughed, some simply stood in stunned silence, as though witnessing history. What happened backstage? According to an insider, the real story unfolded after the public event. Behind the curtains, when the lights dimmed and the crowd dispersed, Yibo was seen quietly holding his hand, his eyes fixed on the ring. A stage staff member reportedly asked him about it, and Yibo simply smiled, saying, "It's special. That's all I'll say." But here's where the whispers grew louder. Xiao Zhan was rumored to be in Shanghai the very same night, quietly checking into a hotel just blocks away from the venue. Coincidence? Fans don't believe in coincidences anymore when it comes to these two. A flashback that changed everything. To understand the weight of this moment, we need to go back months earlier, when Xiao Zhan and Yibo were spotted at an airport, allegedly wearing matching necklaces. The photos were blurry, the angles questionable, but fans insisted that it wasn't just a stylistic choice. Now, the ring seems like the continuation of that story. The necklaces were a beginning. The ring feels like a vow. And the symbolism? Fans didn't miss it. Rings have always meant promise, devotion, eternity. Could it be that Yibo and Xiao Zhan chose this moment, when rumors about their relationship seemed to fade, to remind the world that their story was far from over? The emotional explosion online. Across Weibo, Twitter, and TikTok, fans crafted edits, theories, and poems dedicated to this single piece of jewelry. Some claimed the ring's design was identical to one Xiao Zhan wore briefly during a rehearsal 2 years ago. Others swore the engraving on Yibo's ring, though hard to see, looked like a set of initials. Memes exploded too. Pictures of weddings, engagement announcements, and even photoshopped images of the two exchanging rings at the altar. One fan wrote, "They tried to keep us from believing. They told us it was all just fantasy. But today, Yibo gave us hope again. If this ring is from Xiao Zhan, then their love is not just a story, it's history in the making." A secret meeting in the shadows. The night after the event, paparazzi cameras clicked furiously outside the hotel where Xiao Zhan was rumored to be staying. At exactly 11:47 p.m., a black car pulled up, tinted windows concealing whoever was inside. The driver exited, opened the door, and for a split second, a figure stepped out, slender frame, baseball cap pulled low. Was it Wang Yibo? The internet says yes. The figure disappeared quickly into the hotel, no words, no photographs clear enough to prove anything. But by morning, fans had already connected the dots. The ring wasn't a prop. It was a sign. And now he's with Xiao Zhan. It all makes sense. The question that lingers. If the ring truly came from Xiao Zhan, what does it mean for the two stars? Are they finally ready to tell the world their truth? Or will they continue to speak in whispers, in subtle gestures, in jewelry that carries more weight than words ever could? The entertainment world waits with bated breath, torn between hope and hesitation. But one thing is clear, this ring has already changed the narrative. A scene fans will never forget. Imagine it, a quiet night, Shanghai lights glittering in the distance. Yibo sits on a balcony, phone in hand, Xiao Zhan's voice faint through the receiver. Did they notice? Xiao Zhan asks softly. Yibo laughs, glancing at his hand. They always notice. And then silence, the kind of silence that speaks volumes. It's just a story, perhaps one only fans have pieced together, but it feels real enough to bring tears. Conclusion, the ring that echoes love. Maybe it's just an accessory. Maybe it's just a coincidence. But to fans, to the millions who followed every glance, every tear, every whisper between Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, this ring is not just silver. It is memory. It is hope. It is love. And whether they ever confirm it or not, this ring will forever remain a symbol of a story too powerful to be silenced. Because sometimes, love doesn't need words. Sometimes, all it needs is a ring. The frenzy that erupted when Wang Yibo lifted his hand at the Shanghai showcase didn't fade overnight. Instead, it grew into something far more intense, a wave of obsession, questions, and speculation that gripped not only fans but even fellow celebrities. The ring wasn't just an accessory. It became the epicenter of a storm. The moment replayed 1,000 times. That single flicker of light as Yibo's ring caught the stage spotlight was replayed endlessly online. Clips of the moment filled social media feeds like wildfire. Slow-motion edits emphasized the sparkle, while emotional music edits had fans tearing up, claiming they were watching history in the making. In the footage, Yibo didn't flinch. He wasn't shy. He wasn't hiding the ring. Instead, his movements felt deliberate, raising his hand higher than usual when greeting fans, brushing his hair back unnecessarily, even clapping longer during a musical segment. It almost felt like he wanted the world to see. And that's when fans began whispering. This isn't accidental. This is his way of speaking. Fan reactions, screams, tears, and shock. At the venue, one young fan was spotted collapsing into tears when she saw the ring up close. She was helped by fellow fans who comforted her, and within minutes, a video of her crying made its way online. Her words echoed across the internet. "I've followed him for years, and this is the first time he's said so much without saying anything. If it's from him, if it's from Xiao Zhan, then my heart is full." Meanwhile, other fans erupted into screams, chanting both Yibo and Xiao Zhan's names together. The showcase briefly turned into a symphony of emotional outbursts, half a concert, half a love rally. Backstage glimpse, the ring touch. When the curtain finally fell, insiders revealed something no one saw in public. Backstage, Yibo reportedly removed his earpiece, sat down, and instinctively ran his thumb over the ring. It wasn't nervous fidgeting, it was tenderness. A gesture so intimate, as if the metal carried warmth, as if touching it meant touching the person who gave it to him. One crew member whispered later. It was like the ring was alive to him. Like it wasn't just jewelry, it was someone's presence. Xiao Zhan's shadow that night. The story grew even more magnetic when rumors spread that Xiao Zhan had been in the same city. Fans tracked flight logs, hotel reservations, and even shadows in blurry photos. One viral clip allegedly showed a man in a mask standing at a side entrance of the venue hours before Yibo's event began. The man disappeared quickly, but fans swore the body language matched Xiao Zhan. What if he had been there all along, watching quietly? Witnessing Yibo proudly show off a ring that symbolized them? The very thought drove fans wild. Social media in meltdown. By the next morning, the internet was ablaze. Weibo threads climbed into the millions of interactions. TikTok edits showed split screens. One side Yibo's hand flashing the ring, the other side Xiao Zhan in past events wearing something strikingly similar. Theories emerged. Some swore it was a promise ring. Others claimed it was a reunion gift after months of silence. A few even suggested it was an engagement band, worn boldly despite the risks. The words engagement and vow became trending topics overnight. Emotional fanfiction comes to life. As the frenzy spread, fans began weaving emotional narratives around the ring. One viral post described an imagined scene. Xiao Zhan, tired from filming, slips the ring into Yibo's palm one night. He whispers, "When you're scared, when you're alone, look at this. It means I'm with you always." Yibo doesn't cry, but he holds it tight, knowing it's more than metal, it's a heartbeat in silver. The story was fiction, but it resonated so deeply it felt real. Thousands reposted it, claiming it perfectly explained Yibo's smile that night. A paparazzi surprise, the late-night hotel sighting. Then came the most explosive twist. Just hours after the showcase, paparazzi cameras captured a sleek black vehicle pulling up to a luxury hotel in Shanghai. Out stepped a young man with his head down, baseball cap low, jacket zipped up. The photos were blurry, but the world didn't need clarity. To fans, the posture, the walk, the slim frame, it screamed Xiao Zhan. If true, it meant only one thing. The ring reveal wasn't a solo story. It was part of something bigger, an unspoken reunion behind closed doors. Silence from both stars. Neither Wang Yibo nor Xiao Zhan addressed the chaos. Their silence only added fuel to the fire. Every day they remained quiet. Fans grew more convinced that the ring wasn't a publicity stunt but a personal truth too fragile for words. And perhaps silence was their loudest confirmation. The scene that won't fade. Imagine this. A dimly lit room. Yibo sits on the edge of a hotel bed, exhausted from the showcase. His hand rests on the silver band. The door creaks. Xiao Zhan enters, face half hidden in the shadows. He says nothing. Instead, he sits beside Yibo, their shoulders brushing. Yibo lifts his hand slightly, letting the ring catch the light, as if to say, they saw it. They know now. Xiao Zhan's lips curl into the faintest smile. He doesn't need to speak, because in that silence, there's an eternity of meaning. Whether this scene really happened or not doesn't matter. For fans, it's already immortalized in their hearts. Conclusion: the ring that speaks louder than words. What began as a small accessory at a fan showcase has become a cultural earthquake. Wang Yibo's silver band is no longer just jewelry. It's a story, a symbol, and a confession carved in metal. And whether Xiao Zhan gifted it or not, fans have already decided. This isn't coincidence. This is love, alive and thriving in the simplest, most silent of gestures. Because sometimes the loudest declarations are not screamed on stage. Sometimes they're worn quietly, on a single finger,